Hey, everybody, it is I, Sam, aka the Free Frog. Welcome to Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Yes, we are in Gillinor. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are expecting Grim Dawn tonight, and that's okay. Unfortunately, Platty has had some, well, she's got some business to take care of in the real world, and of course, real life takes precedence to online. So yes, I know Grim Dawn tonight. Sorry for if that's a disappointment to anybody. It's a disappointment to me. I was looking forward to getting that Grim Dawn done. But yeah, Platty will of course be returning with me on Thursday as expected. We might even see her later on tonight. That might be a thing that happens. We shall see. We shall indeed see. But until then, we're just gonna, play some Scape. A little bit impromptu. Not got a solid plan of everything I'm going to do tonight, honestly. We're just going to muck about. That's what the stats are looking like. Not a great many changes from the last time that we played. Haven't had much time to actually play this myself. But yeah. Yeah, I did a bit of mining. We got the 41 mining, and obviously bought a rune pick. Which is fairly standard noob affair. Slipknot is already in chat. I've said hi, but I shall say hi again. Hello. Hope everybody watching this is well. All the usual stuff, like, share, subscribe if you ain't already, and if it's a good feature and you didn't get a chance to take part in chat, it's all good. Leave me a comment. If you've got a question, I will answer it when the notification comes through. How's about that? Yes, quicker replies than as normally promised. So, let's see. We've got some questy poos we could do. We could always do a quest. Creature Frankenstrain probably wouldn't be a bad one. We're going to need to train some agility in the not too distant future. Obviously, I won't be able to immediately go into the werewolf course, but I will need the Ring of Karos to get in there. So we'll get that one knocked out. It's a fairly simple affair. I'm going to need some bronze wire and single silver bars, so let's just grab those real quick. I think I don't have enough tin, but I do have 2 bronze bars already. So, you know what? Hell with it. Let's just buy a bronze bar, shall we? Let's save ourselves some time. You guys know, of course, that if this were a league or if I were playing on Fecal Matter, I would have to make this myself. But this is the BT playing on main account. There's a lot of the work can be circumvented. Slipknot how he is earlier on, and says about the same. Oh, yeah, tired, man. Whew. I did sleep well for a change, though. Hopefully that comes through in a little bit sharper response time to the chat. We do have the low latency chat on, so yeah, if you've got anything, any questions or anything like that, or hell, even just chatting, that's fine. Drop those in the live chat there. That should remain after the stream. Sometimes I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you've ever caught these in post, sometimes the live chat replay disappears, and I'm not quite sure as to why that is. Just YouTube doing YouTube things, I would imagine. Let's grab a hammer, because we're going to need that to make the bronze wire. We need a silver bar as well. Oh, no, we don't need all of those. I keep forgetting I've changed up my keybinds a little bit, so now I'll withdraw one, and then shift-clicking withdraws all. Let's see. Fairly sure I can smelt silver. Yeah, I should be able to. It's only level 20. I've got my Varrock armor on here. You know what would really help, actually? Well, you put these boots on instead, huh? Wearing a bit of a mismatch of gear, but that's quite alright. 33 magic and runes to cast Telegrab or 50 coins. I actually know what that's for. But if you've never seen this quest before, I won't spoil. I won't spoil. Yeah, Creature Frankenstrain. It's an interesting old quest. It fits very much the sort of the template of the old style quest. It's a little bit silly. It's a little bit goofy. Grab a quick barrel teleport here. Teleport into the center of the city rather than running. To make this bronze fire. It's a bronze fire. Hopefully sound levels are all good. I did go back and check, by the way, on the last stream, and I noticed that, it's a bit louder than it was before, which is, part of the intention. But everything seems to be around the right sort of levels of sound. So if this is a bit loud for you, don't be afraid to turn this down. I won't be messing around with the controls too much unless something, really obvious stands out to me in the future. If you are listening in the future when this replay plays, YouTube has got a habit of enabling stable volume now on replays of my live streams and such. That might make things very loud. So if things are very, very loud, go ahead and just pull up the little cog menu, cog, the little gear thing for the settings, and knock stable volume off for this, or just turn me down a little bit more. That's how easiest way to get around that. Alright, so we can get some Finkenstrain's castle teleports, and that will probably be wise, but what else do we need? We need a Ghost Speak Amulet. Ghost Speak Amulet. We need Telegrab runes, which I don't remember exactly what they are off the top of my head, but I know it's Law and Air runes, so we'll do that, because we like a little bit of extra magic XP, don't we? Okay, grab a needle and some thread. 1 needle, 5 thread, so it recommends a Spaday. Let's grab a Spaday. And we'll budget ourselves 1k for this. Actually, we'll grab that cash out last because we do need to run over to the Grand Exchange. We do have a tiny little bit of combat, which is very, very easy in this, and probably need to pick which stat to put that in. I'll probably do range. I'll probably just keep doing range until that's 50, and then we'll switch out to magic. Probably the best way of going, I think. Where are my adamant darts? There they are. These, by the way, at the moment, market price on these is fairly low. They're trading around 21 to 25 GP each, which means that they are very, 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 very cheap. And they're not super accurate, but on things with very low defenses or, low range defense, they're very, very cheap and they're very, very effective. Because obviously, darts, they're thrown every 2 ticks when they're on the rapid. 2 ticks? Yeah, 2 ticks when they're on the rapid style. And, decent range training. Okay, so we do that. We'll grab our green to hide body. We'll slap that back on. Put the Varrock armor away for the time being. I currently don't have a better ranged offhand than this snakeskin shield, so we'll keep that on. Combat bracelet, obviously, ring of wealth, whatever. Amulet of glory. Did pick up an extra one of those that someone dropped on the floor. We take we take the little free things that we see people just dropping on the floor. One man's trash and all that kind of thing. Okay, so a couple of Finkenstrain's teleports. These should be around a K each, I think. Oh, no, they're a lot more expensive than that. That's not a problem. Money is not in short supply. I have been converting some of my league points into items to sell, just to keep my cash pile floating up, so that I'm not having to spend a great load of time earning cash. Yeah, just purely because. Okay, so 664, that would be, let's see, wow, math fail. Maybe I'm a little more tired than I thought, chat. Alright, let's see, armor and weapons, yes, and run past yes, not a problem. Stamp pots. Stamp pot probably wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. What are these going for these days? Let's see. 6k. Yeah, we can throw out the money for that. 7k really, but for a single 4-dose stamp pot, that's not a ridiculous price. Okay. Let's see. All right. So Finkenstrain's cast teleport. I don't think that includes the one to get there. So what we'll do is we will also go here and we will grab a Drayman staff and we will head over to the Canine King settlement. That is indeed CKS for Canifis on the Fairy Ring Network. Come on. There we go. I believe the song's called Forever. It is. Quite like this one. Got the very classic Scape feel to it. We are heading over to Canifis. Hopefully the game music is loud enough. I can pop that up just a little bit. Let's do that, shall we? I don't remember what this one's called. Let's see. Mauritania. Plain and simple. Okay. Now, in order to start this quest, we actually have to click on a signpost. But first, Let's use our telegraph spell, telekinetic grab, on this pickled brain. This will be relevant later. That goes in the bottom right of our event now. Okay, so we then... Oh, do we not have to, click signpost anymore? I'm going to read it anyway. Start the Crucial Frankenstein quest. Yes. The signpost has a note pinned to it. The note says, Brain-dead butler wanted. Grave digging skills essential. Hunchback advantageous. See Dr. Frankenstein in the castle, northeast of Canifis. Okay. So we'll have a little trot up there. This won't take too long, because it really is just up here. Is there a way to set the skybox thing to automatically adjust? I do forget. I don't think there is. I wonder if there's a plug-in. Skybox, sky, blue steps. No, it would be nice. It would be nice. Maybe one day I will write, some aesthetic plugins myself. They require a bit of work and quite a bit of testing to get right. But yeah. All right, just looking over everything. Sound levels look fine. Picture looks fine. Yeah, that's all good. Right, talk to Dr. Frankenstein. Have you come to apply for the job? Yes, if it pays well. I'll have to ask you some questions first. Okay. How would you describe yourself in one word? Brain dead. I see. Just one more question. What would you say is your greatest skill? Grave digging. I see. Looks like you're just the man for the job. Welcome aboard. Is there anything you'd like me to do for you, sir? Yes, there is. You're highly skilled at grave digging, yes? Yes, that's what I said. Excellent. Now listen carefully. I need you to find some, stuff for me. Stuff? That's what I said. Stuff. What kind of stuff? Well, dead stuff. Go on. I need you to get me enough dead body parts for me to stitch together a complete body, which I plan to bring to life. Right. Okay, if you insist. Okay. So we are just going to follow along with the quest helper here. I've done this quest dozens of times. There's a couple of little points in this where it's kind of not super clear what to do next, and that that's fine. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna search this bookcase. Handy Maggot Avoidance Techniques is the book that we want. As you pull the book, a hidden latch springs into place, and the bookcase swings open, revealing a secret compartment. You find an obsidian amulet in the secret compartment. Indeed. It's just actually a little look on the floor I've never seen. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, and the next piece that we need is in this bookshelf, or rather bookcase right here. Now, ordinarily, if you're following along with the quest without using Quest Helper, this is something that you'll actually pick up a little bit later on. The Joy of Grave Digging. Same secret compartment affair. Yes, you combine the marble amulet with the obsidian amulet, and you get the star amulet. And we're going to go and talk to our ghostly friend over here, so we put a ghost speak amulet on. Talk to the gardener ghost. What happened to your head? You feel power emanate from the ghost speak from the amulet of ghost speak, and the air around you vibrates with the ghostly voice of the headless gardener. I was in the old haunted forest to the south, digging a pit for my old master, old Frankenstein. When would you believe it, someone chops me head off. Awful bad luck, weren't it? Oh yes, dreadful bad luck. That's a little bit loud to my ears. Sorry. Alright. So I thinks to myself, I don't need any air to be getting on with me gardening, so long as I got my hands and me spade. Would you show me where the place was? Well, I suppose I've got 10 minutes to spare. Okay, now he is going to follow us, so we're going to take a sip of stamina potion here. He should keep up with us if we run. Yeah, there he is. Okay, good. This is the part that's often quite arduous because it has you go out into the haunted woods here. And the haunted woods are, well, they're full of vampires and leeches and all that kind of thing. So I would recommend that you turn Auto Retaliate off, set your weapon to defensive for the Invisible +3 defense bonus. And, yeah. Start digging here. We find a decapitated head. I'm going to use the pickled brain here Alright, so we use the pickle brain on the head, puts the brain inside the head. Yeah, if the gardener disappears on you, you'll have to go run back up to the castle and grab him again if you don't get to that spot, like, straight away. Okay, what does the mysterious old man want? Okay, he wants me to solve a maze. Let's do this. We like these. We like a good maze. Okay, so we got a little bit of time to look around here. Pro tip, if you haven't seen these completed before, if you click right before the door, or right before the gate, and then click to open the gate, you actually complete it a little bit faster. Or rather, you complete the action of opening the gate faster, I should say. And you can pre-right click, obviously. The moment that your true tile indicator points to you being on the correct square, that's when you click on the menu option again, like so. Of course, our stamina potion is still ticking down while we're in here, despite the fact that we don't lose any run energy, which is a little bit annoying because it also means we don't gain any run energy. Frustrating, but yeah. What are you going to do? Hopefully we get something, you know, decent, worth our time from this. Click the centerpiece, and we are done. Let's see what we get. 11 nature runes, nearly 2k in cash, and 110 death runes. Lovely. Hello there, Marcus Blackwell. He says, good evening. At first, I didn't think I would sub to you, but after seeing that you played RuneScape with Platypus, thanks to Fire's Discord, I found that based enough to subscribe. yeah, we like our RPGs around here, Marcus. We do indeed. Pleasure to have you with us. But yeah, hey, look, you know, Platty might be around a little bit later on. And you know, if she is, I will jump into Discord so that she could join us. It was going to be Grim Dawn this evening, because that's normally what we sort of do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We play our sort of, shall we say, mainline games, if that makes sense, which presently are Grim Dawn and Path of Exile 1. But yeah, like I said, because Platty's got to take care of some business, we're doing the Scape tonight. Let's see, Star Amulet on this. Okay, this is the part where normally you do this later on. You use the amulet on the memorial, and then you push it back, and it's just to the south, just to the southeast of the castle. So what we've got to do now is we have to kill one of Fenkenstrain's experiments. You know, there's a sheepdog there, and a Spider-Man there, and what did Jargix mean by this? By putting a woman's head on a large dog's body? What did they mean by that? Mark says, thanks, truth be told, I never actually got into RuneScape outside of the mobile version. I prefer Wizard 101, but I still love the virtual woods anyway. So that's why I'm here. Awesome. Yeah, if you play mobile, it's crossplay with desktop. Different interface, obviously, but yeah, this is obviously, you know, old school RuneScape, and there is RS3 as well. So toss up between which one you prefer. I think OSRS mobile's probably a bit easy to play on a mobile interface. RS3 gets a bit complicated. I've seen people do Telos from RS3 on mobile. That just sounds like a stressful time to me. Anyway, without any further ado, let's put this bitch to rest. Haha, very funny joke. Okay, it's actually doing some damage. Prop melee going on. Hello there, Cryptic. Yeah, anyway, how are you both, Marcus and Cryptic? You both doing well? Having a good week so far, I hope? Prop melee. Yeah, back in the day, these experiments here, because they got 50 health and basically no defenses. This is what the defenses look like. Right, because they got no defenses, these used to be like decent training if you couldn't get a spot at rock crabs. Because no one used to come here because, you know, quest requirement. Like I said, I only played the modern RuneScape on mobile because I didn't think there was too much difference between them because it was the updated version. Yeah, I mean, at their core, they're still very, very similar games. There's certainly an attempt on RS3 to make it feel more like a modern game. Unfortunately, they deal with a lot of spaghetti code you know, holdovers from bygone eras and such, which means that yeah, it just basically means that the update cycle has to be slower. And also there's the microtransactions, which, you know, some people don't mind. I find that the microtransactions have taken a lot out of the game. I do still play RS3 periodically, mostly on a hardcore Iron Man. And of course there's the leagues coming up later on this year, which I think that will be August. Can't remember whether it's August or autumn, one of the two. I mean, it's around the same sort of time anyway, right? But yeah, no, I fully intend on playing those, probably with Platty, and you know, Eve might make a reappearance. What do you... Cryptic says, not great, but as long as I have a job, I'm good. Well, I hope things clear up for you, mate. I kind of have half an idea of what you mean by that, but, you know, chin up, yeah? Chin up, nose down. Difficult as that is, physiologically. Marcus Blackwell says, what do you mean by spaghetti code? They don't know how to let go of the past. It's not so much that, it's... Because the game has basically been going since 2001, RuneScape 3 specifically has been going since, well, back when it was RuneScape 2, then it became RS3. It's been going since 2001, which is 24 years. There is an awful lot of code base, especially engine code, which is written in a very, very, very old fashion, and a lot of the staff that they've got now are not the original staff from back in the day. So they basically got to learn the old code in order to be able to fix the old code, but then there's old code from 2004 that's mixed in with code from 2012, which is mixed in with code from last year, and it's lots of different programmers all, you know, coding the same pot, if you will. Very, very difficult to try and work your way through that when you want to come up with new content, or indeed content that refreshes an old area, or old skill even. I didn't know there were 3 versions of the game. Yeah, there was RuneScape Classic, which was late 99, early 2000. RS2 came along. RuneScape 2 came along in, like I say, 2000. I think it was late 2001, something like that. And that was the news. Looked much more like what you see here at the time. RuneScape 3 started shortly after the evolution of combat dropped, which was I want to say it was like 2014? Something along those lines? And then this version of the game was brought back. Why is that so quiet? Have I accidentally clicked something? Turn that off. So yeah, and then there was, shortly after the evolution of combat, a lot of people didn't like the new combat system. They didn't like a lot of the changes that Jagex had made to the game, and so they started a petition to get an older version of the game before the evolution of combat, preferably as far back as they could go. It started up as a sort of to run in parallel with the main game, and Jagex were like, okay, there seems to be a lot of people that want this. Let's run a poll. So they ran a poll, and it just missed the threshold, but it was so close to actually passing, satisfying the threshold, which I think was like 75% of people voting, that Jagex were like, you know what, okay, we'll do it. The oldest snapshot that we've got available that we know still works is from 2007, shortly before the release of the Grand Exchange and the God Wars dungeon. So yeah, so they brought it back. So RuneScape Classic got closed down a couple of years ago just because it was very, very old and very, very outdated, and like over 2/3 of the people, of the characters still playing that were basically just bots. So yeah, so they shut that down. But yeah, so as it stands, we have OSRS, Old School RuneScape, sometimes called 2007 Scape, especially on Reddit. And we've got RS3, which is the one that you're most familiar with. Let's see. Cryptic says, I'm not as slanted as my eyes yet, Sam. He's the Asian person. I didn't say that. He said that. It's in chat, YouTube. You saw it. You see it. Anyway, Cryptic says, are you just streaming on YouTube? I am just streaming on YouTube, yeah. I really do need to get the Twitch sort of side of things set up. It's a question of managing bandwidth properly and actually getting the second encoder to run reliably without nosediving every hour. I think I've got some issues with FFmpeg on this system that I've got to fix because yeah, it just doesn't seem to want to play ball. Right. Just 2 seconds here. My dogs are barking, and it's late at night here, so I'm just gonna go see what that is. I will leave you with my beer bag screen. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah, living out country and all that kind of thing, you know. When the dogs bark late at night, you check it out. Seems that foxes are abroad this evening. Oh. And, yeah, my boy, he kind of wants to go out there and, shall we say, play with the foxes. And, well, that can't happen. He's a horrible mess. Let's see. Marcus says, I thought this RuneScape was OSRS, was how the game first looked back in RS1. No, it, let me just pull you up a little picture here. SRS, no. Classic. Well, I mean, sort of, it's kind of the way it looked after RuneScape 2 released in 2000 and 2001. But RuneScape Classic, pull up a picture. Oh wow, okay, some of these pictures are just awful. They don't show anything. Okay, this looks like it'll do. Okay. Let's see if this works, shall we? Okay. Yeah, it does. So, this is a, this is kind of what it looked like. Just gonna edit the transform here. Alright, okay, so this is, you know, if we, I think if I crop this by some, like, not 1200 there, let's go 550. And can we sort of do that? Yeah, this is what RuneScape Classic looked like. Or RS1, I suppose you could say. Yeah, this is what it looked like. yeah, it's pretty bad, huh? Pretty bad. Similar in some ways. Very similar in some ways. Not so much in others. RS1 did not age well. No, it did not. It absolutely did not. Alright, let's get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Boom. And close that. Alright. Back to this quest, then. Creature effect string, where were we? Deliver the body parts. Yeah, teleport to. Which we should have done rather than running through here. Alright. Body, legs, head. Yeah, okay, we got everything. Why do I feel like the game music is so quiet in some places? I have some body parts for you. Great, you brought me some arms. Excellent, you brought me some legs. Splendid, you brought me a torso. Fantastic, you brought me a head. Superb, those are all the parts I need. Now I need to sew them together. Oh, bother, I haven't got a needle or thread. Go get me a needle, and I'll need 5 lots of thread. Where are my needle and thread, Amphibian? Ah, needle, wonderful. And some thread, excellent. Frankenstein uses the needle and thread to sew the body parts together. Soon a hideous creature lies inanimate on the ritual table. Perfect, but I need one more thing from you. Flesh and bones by themselves do not make life. Really? I have honed to perfection an ancient ritual that will give life to this creature, but for this I must harness the very power of nature. And what power is this? The power of lightning. Marcus says, your British voice reminds me of Tony J, the guy who played Claude Frollo. yeah, I could see that. I don't know, maybe I'm leaning into that a little bit to produce my stern and macabre characters. Who knows? Sorry, can't make lightning. You got the wrong man. Silence your insolent tongue. The storm that brews overhead will create lightning. What I need you to do is to repair the lightning conductor on the balcony above. Repair the lightning conductor, right. Can I have a break soon? By law, I'm entitled to 15 minutes every... Repair the conductor and be gone! Yeah! Not exactly what I would call a good employer, this guy. Talk to the farmer. Farmer, gardener ghost. Headless gardener ghost. Do you know where the key to the shed is? Got it right here in my pocket. Here you go. Headless gardener hands you a rusty key. Okay, we're going to go here. Unlock that door. And we open the cupboard. And we get a garden brush. Let's see, Marcus says, I'll be mad if they don't have a Young Frankenstein or Universal Frankenstein reference. It's a good question. I don't know if they do. This quest itself was released... When was this? Long time ago. I know that much. It was released in 2005 on the 31st of January. Okay, we're going to combine these together to make a very long brush. Okay, got to the second floor of the castle. Out through this door. In through this door, rather. If the graphics of this game are a little bit too rough on your eyes, there is a plugin that you can use within RuneLite called 117HD. And there's also the HDOS client, which frankly runs a lot smoother on my machine. But yeah, and that changes the graphics to, well, this, which is a lot more palatable for some people, and I understand that. Certain areas for me do not run very well with this plugin enabled because it's not super well optimized. So yeah, that's why I stick with this one. No, don't use it on the side there. Use it on the center and the fireplace. There we go. Stick the brush up the chimney, and the conductor mold falls out. And then we are going to use our Amulet of Glory to get to Edgeville very quickly. Let's see. Use a silver bar on this here furnace. Lightning rod. Teleport back. Run on through. Up here and out on this balcony. Up here. It's not really a balcony, is it? It's more of a terrace. Use the conductor on the lightning conductor. And you repair the lightning conductor not one moment too soon. A tremendous bolt of lightning melts the new lightning conductor, and power blazes throughout the castle, if only briefly. Well then, let's go and see what abominations the Mad Doctor has produced with this power. So, did it work then? Yes, I'm afraid it did, Amphibian. All too well. I can't see it anywhere. I tricked it into going up to the tower, and there it remains, imprisoned. So the creature wasn't all you'd hoped then? Oh, what have I done? Oh, I see. We're developing a sense of right and wrong now, are we? Bit late for that, I'd say. I have no control over it. It's coming to get me. What do you want me to do about it? Destroy it. Take the key to the tower and take back the life I never should have granted. Well, okay then. Talk to fucking strange monster. I'm commanded to destroy you, creature. That's it. Not very nice. Are you feeling okay? Absolutely. Never better. You don't look very dangerous. How do I look? You really don't know, do you? Have a look for yourself. The creature stumbles over towards the mirror, focuses upon his reflection, and... Ah! The creature becomes instantly sober, horror all too evident in its undead eyes. I'm sorry. I suppose I'm partly to blame for this. No, it was him, I wager. Frankenstein, wasn't it? He's brought me back to life. Who are... or were you? I was Rologarth, Lord of the North Coast. This castle was once mine. Frankenstein was the castle doctor. So the castle wasn't really abandoned when he found it. Is that what he told you? No. This castle was once full of people and life. Frankenstein advised me to sell them to the vampires, which I'm sad to say I did. I found your brain in a jar in Canifus, so he must have sold you too. Of that I will not speak. There lie memories that shall rest with the dead, the living unable to bear them. That's it. I'm leaving this dreadful place, whether I get paid or not. Is there anything I can do for you before I leave? Only one. Please stop Frankenstein from carrying on his experiments once and for all, so that no other poor soul has to endure suffering such as that of my people and I. Very well. Go down these stairs. Run here. Doop-doo, 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 doop-doo. Talk to Dr. Frankenstein. So, have you destroyed it? Never, now that he's told me the truth. Oh my. This is exactly what I feared. Why did you have to pick Rologarth's brain of all brains? I'm through working for you. No, I refuse to release you. You must help me build another creature to destroy this dreadful mistake. He's out of his mind. Pick in his pocket. I get 2 quest points, 1,000 thieving XP, and the Ring of Karos. Also, Zoinquiz shows up to congratulate me on completing the quest. Thank you very much, Zoinquiz. Yeah, that's a plug-in if you hadn't guessed. And we advanced the thieving level. We are now level 27 thieving. I think there was actually quite a few thieving levels there. Could be wrong. Let's see. No, it was just the one. Alright, so we got a little quest out of the way there. Oh, Clock Tower. Oh, Clock Tower. Oh, it does do the rewards, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the rewards. It's 500 points in its quest point, but it is required for some other stuff. This is so arduous. I think that's one of those ones I'm going to set aside to do with plebs. Let me see. Just going to send Platty a message, actually. If Discord will let me type. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to kill Discord and bring it back up. Because it's being a pain. Let's see, Platty. Where are we? Okay. Anyway, right. Message sent. So we did that. A mental workshop 2. That's another one of those puzzle ones. Yeah, probably wait for Platty to do that. Ethically acquired antiquities. That is a Varlamore quest. That's another one to do with Platty. Cure a Queen we can't complete. The Forsaken Tower. Fishing contest. I think Platty's actually already done this one, you know. So let's go and knock this out. It's not a super complicated quest. So we could use a Camelot teleport here. And we'll go and grab that. Fishing rod, red vine worm, and some garlic. And we always keep a little bit of garlic in the bank. And a red vine worm. I don't think I've got a Camelot teleport, do I? No. And I can't cast it yet, I don't believe, because I'm fairly sure it's 45, and I only have 40 magic. Let's grab that teletab. That's pretty much everything, yeah. Combat bracelet, Camelot teleport. So we are going to jump over to... actually, let's buy another one of those. Just to get there quickly. Teleport over here. Repossessed flying solo tonight? Yes, mate, yeah. Platty had to take care of some business IRL. And so, yeah, no Grim Dawn tonight. So, rather than, you know, mucking about with that solo and distorting progress between her and myself any more than I already have, I thought I'd jump on Scape and, you know, do some catch-up. How are you anyway, Reaper? You, having a pleasant day, I hope? Talk to Vestry.
What do you want?
I was wondering what was down these stairs.
You can't go down there.
Why not?
This is the home of the mountain dwarves. How would you like it if I wanted to take a shortcut through your home?
If you were my friend, I wouldn't mind it.
Yes, but I don't even know you.
Well, let's be friends.
I don't make friends easily. People need to earn my trust first.
Start the fishing contest quest. Yes. Arabs is relaxing with a glass of bourbon. Wonderful, wonderful. I have one for me. I've got no alcohol in at the moment. I do have coffee, though. And how am I meant to do that?
My, we are the persistent one, aren't we?
Well, there's a certain gold artifact we're after.
We dwarves are big fans of gold. This artifact is the first prize at the Heminster fishing competition. Fortunately, we have acquired a pass to enter that competition. Unfortunately, dwarves don't make good fishermen.
Fortunately, I'm all right at fishing.
Okay, I entrust you with our competition pass. Don't forget to take some gold with you for the entrance fee.
You got the fishing contest pass.
Go to Herminster and do us proud.
So we're going to use our combat bracelet to teleport to the Ranging Guild, because that's very, very close by. Reaper says that sounds like blasphemy. What, there's no alcohol in the house? Or that dwarves aren't very good fishermen. Go here. Show Marish your pass. Okay. What we're going to do is... stash the garlic in the pipe. We pay Bonzo ahead of time. Okay, we've got all fishermen. It's time to roll. Okay, nearly everyone is in their place already. You fish in the spot by the willow trees, and the sinister stranger, you fish by the pipes. Sinister stranger is quite obviously a vacationing vampire.
Ugh.
What is that ghastly smell? I think I will move over here instead. Okay, he's going to move over there. I better go and take the area by the pipes then. This fishing spot competition spot is now open. I'm going to bait it with the red vine worms, and we catch a raw giant carp. Talk to Bonzo. So, how are you doing so far? I have this big fish. Is it enough to win? Well, we'll just wait till the time is up. You wait? You hand over your catch. We have a new winner! The heroic-looking person who is fishing by the pipes has caught the biggest carp I've seen since Grandpa Jack used to compete. You're given the Monster Fishing Trophy. Grandpa Jack's over there, by the way. If you aren't using Quest Helper, you can talk to him, and he will give you the relevant advice on what items to bring. Reaper says, yep, the alcohol. Well, you know. Go teleport back to Camelot. Oh, excuse me. And now if we run over here, talk to Vestry again. He will be overcome by the power of friendship and allow us to raid his tunnel. From now on, you will.
Have you won yet?
Yes, I have.
Well done, that's brilliant. Do you have the trophy with you?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Oh, it's even more shiny and gold than I thought possible.
2,437 fishing XP, access to the White Wolf Mountain Tunnel, and a quest point. That brings us up to 115.
You have done us proud. Thank you. I think we can now trust you enough to let you in.
In where?
Why, the tunnel, of course. You may now come and go freely, avoiding the wolves and dangers of the cold, high mountain. You can even stop in for a beer or two.
Excellent, that will come in most handy. So let's go and immediately do that. Take a quick run through the tunnel. As you see, lots of dwarves down here, but of particular note to Iron Men is Holloi over here, who serves as a crossbow shop. In the leagues, I believe the stock in here tends to get bumped up. But yeah, you can buy the parts that you need to make a mithril crossbow if you have the fletching level, but you don't have the smithing level. So you can assemble a mithril crossbow. Mithril crossbow is, of course, valuable to Iron Men because it is the lowest level crossbow that can fire a mithril grapple hook. So if you can obtain a mithril grapple hook without having to smith one for yourself, preferably with a rope attached, yes, you can get the equipment here to make the mithril crossbow. Obviously, it is also, a fairly decent weapon in the earlier levels, early range levels specifically. We will be back here at a different point in time because we need to talk to this fella, an old dwarf, for a part of Recipe for Disaster. We've got a cart conductor here who can take us to Keldagrim. And also from Keldagrim, of course, we can go to Dorgesh Khan later on, and to the Grand Exchange, which, that's where we're going to go now, actually. Keldagrim. Talk to this cart conductor. I'd like to buy a ticket, and where would you like to go? To the Grand Exchange. Oh, that service is free. Just hop in a cart on track 3 and away you go. See, that's all well and good, but which one is track 3? Always the question, right? I'm fairly sure it's this one. Yeah. So yeah, Ironman, if you don't have Grand Exchange teleports or what have you, and you're in Caldigrim, you can get back by using that track there. Oh, blimey. It's time for me to roll a little smoky here. So, now's the time, guys. If you've got any particularly complex questions or anything you want to know about this game, about my schedule, about life. You want some life advice? I'll give you some life advice. Might not be good life advice, but it will be life advice. Now's the time to ask. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Where did I put? Ah, yes, yeah. Let's check to see if I heard a message back from Platty. I have not. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not expecting a reply back from Platty. Just, you know, if she does get back to me, then yeah. We may well have a, what is it? Overweight duck beaver? Is that it? We might have an overweight duck beaver joining us, yeah. Let's see. And then roll this up. And my hands are not responding to my mental commands. Behave. You know, one of the things I always love coming to the Grand Exchange, you know, I love this so much, and this is true of both games, right? But I always love coming to the Grand Exchange and seeing just how many gold-selling websites are still trying to operate. It's been the universal experience, I think. Everyone has seen the gold seller bots over the years. Everyone. It doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been playing this game, you will inevitably come into contact with them. And somehow they stay in business. You know? Somehow. Despite the fact that their pricing is... the arse has completely fallen out of the, you know, of the market. It's never worth buying gold. Because the risk that you take with, you know, the risk you take buying gold from a third-party seller, which, you know, against the rules and all that kind of thing, if you get caught, and you probably will be, you know, you lose your account and all the gold, which means you've lost all the money that you spent on the gold. Failing that, they could just take your money, right, your real-life money, and not give you a damn thing anyway, right? Or they could try and keep your credit card, bank card, whatever the heck on file, and then that information gets stolen by, you know, hackers unknown. And then you get, you know, defrauded on your credit card that way. So, yeah, is it really worth that risk in a video game where it's easily possible to make like 3 mil an hour? Really? Or to, like, you know, buy bonds through the through the official page and all that kind of thing? The answer to that, frankly, in my opinion, nah. But it's been one of those things when it comes to games over the years that one thing I've sort of like noticed is there are some people that when they're not enjoying a part of a game, for some reason there's a little voice that's missing in their brain that says, I'm not having fun, I should stop doing this. And I would love to see sort of like a more sort of widespread attitude shift amongst gaming. It's sort of like, if you're not enjoying doing something, don't do it. Just don't do that part of the game. If you're an Iron Man, okay, there are certain things that you are going to have to do that are grindy and unpleasant. Like, I've currently still got to do the 80 Herblore grind on my Iron Man. I don't want to do it, chat. I really don't. It's taken a very, very long time. If I just sat down and did it, it would already be done. But I don't want to do it, so I'm putting it off. But for a main account, i.e. one that can actually trade stuff like gold and buy gold and all that kind of thing, if you don't want to go out and make money, don't. There are plenty of things that you can do in the game without having to earn money. You can go and you can do a 5-man Bandos wearing rune armor. I'm not saying you should, but you can. You just have to be good, like really, really good at the game in order to pull that kind of thing off. So, you know. What I'm basically saying is find the fun in the game. Keep holding on to the fun in the game. And if there is nothing in the game that is fun, put it down. It's okay. You don't have to play. And you don't have to put your credit score at history or your bank account, your credit score or credit history or your bank account or your game account at risk. You know, you can just stop playing things. It's possible to do. Your mental health and your financial future will thank you. And I would love to see an attitude like that sort of become more prevalent. Right, what are we going to do next? Do I have a Slayer task? We should probably pick up a Slayer task if we don't already have one, right? Let's see, 41 zombies, that's 26 tasks in a row. Coming up on, that'll be 89 points because this is a Majna task. And yeah, we're hoping to get 400 points sorted out for around the time that we get to the, 55 Slayer. And the relevant crafting level so that we can make our Slayer helm. I've made so many Slayer helms over the years. Is it 55 crafting as well? Yeah, 55 crafting. Equipment. Is there not actually a requirement to wear the Slayer helm? I thought there was. I could be wrong. I know there are in RS3. Alright, so gearing up for a zombie task. Could probably range these. In the stronghold of security. Hello there, Platty. Says no Slayer requirement for Slayer helm. Yeah, that's just a 3 thing, isn't it? And I have a message back from Platty. Alright, no worries, no worries. I'll tell you what, chat. I just need to run to the restroom. I won't be a moment. I shall be right back. Keep yourselves entertained in chat for me, and I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Sorry about that. Bodily functions. They're XP waste, am I right? Just to quickly say to Platty, yeah, I did fishing contest, which I believe you've already done. And I did creature Frankenstein real quickly earlier on as well. I don't remember if you've got those done. You can drop all of these quest items that we don't need. The Ring of Karos we will keep. All this stuff away. Keep that on me. Oh, excuse me. Stamina pot, we'll keep that in our Herbal tab. Alright, let's see. Ranging supplies. Once we get to 50, we'll be switching out to Blue Dragon Hide. And I'll probably pick up a magic bow. Magic short bow. Let's see, do I think I've got enough darts? Another 100 wouldn't hurt, right? Advent dart. And a little bit of food. Couple of lobster. Couple of potato. Go ahead and equip those. And you've got a lot of options when it comes to zombies. There are zombies in a lot of different places in this game. Drop down here, climb down the entrance. Because, of course, we've already completed the Stronghold security run-through, so we can just use the portals. Down this ladder here, onto the second floor. I think we run this way. I think this is the play. A nice big room full of zombies here. Only a flesh crawler or two. Level 30. So yeah. It shouldn't take too long. You know, provided I don't keep hitting zeros. 16% prayer bonus required for the next extra point of damage on these. Or 7 levels. Or 10 more range strength bonus. Bring our accumulator here. Or tractor. Another thing we can get upgrade-wise when we hit 50. Of course, I've got my XP drop set up in such a way that you can see approximate damage before the hit splat actually happens and the experience I get per strike. Sure, I'll collect steel arrows. Yeah, knew that was going to happen. Pathing, am I right? Dropped a beer. Yeah, let's just drink a beer that we've picked up from a, you know, reanimated body. What could go wrong there, huh? Of course, the nice part as well is if we equip the steel arrows, when we pick them up in future, because I've got a setting set in my settings, would you believe, they will automatically be equipped into the ammo slot. But of course, we're not using steel arrows at the moment, because we're throwing darts. But if I was using a bow, you know, be useful. 13,000 experience per hour. Joy. A little bit lower than what you could expect in one of the leagues, huh? Oh, look, another beer.
Of course, this does lower us our attack stats, raises our strength, and heals us by 1 point. Joy, more steel arrows. I'm going to get hit by something else in a minute. Yep. Eat one of our lobster. Genuinely don't know if I'm going to have enough food here. Just try and stand here so I can get this this zombie next. The one that I've already mostly killed. Not going to happen though. He's walked all the way over there, so I'm going to get hit by another one any second, or it might even be a flesh crawler. It's a flesh crawler. I'll take the iron ore. And if this boy could just stay nearby. Can we box him in a little bit? Not really. Okay, so he's queued up. Now he's wandered off. Lordy, I love pathing in this game. There's a range level. Nice and fast because it's low levels. We like that. There we go, positioned ourselves appropriately there. One thing you can do with these larger enemies, by the way, is if you can get them stuck in a particular position, you can walk underneath them in order to eat your food, and they can't hit you while you're stood underneath them, provided they, don't move out so that they can strike you. And, yeah. So that's something you can employ. You can do it with certain bosses. Certain bosses do have trample mechanics, so you do have to be wary of that, obviously. But, yeah. Ah, 26 left. This is the nice part about marginal tasks. They usually don't take very long. Quick way to get, your point streak up is to do 9 marginal tasks, and then on each 10th task in the streak, you go and do the best Slayer Master that you got available. And hopefully you don't get screwed over with a really crappy task that you don't want to do. 38 Slayer, 46 ranged. Slowly but surely getting there. It's like now if I want to eat, I'm going to run under the far... like so. So the fact that my attacks get interrupted by me eating, it means less. And other than that, it's basically a point-and-click adventure at this point. But you know what? This is a chill stream. It's not a high-action stream. It's not big brain stream. $20 monsters left. Do-do-do-do. Somewhere they messed up the, let's see. Hello, Far. She says big brain stremmers when 9s are involved. That's very true. That's very true. That is, in fact, the biggest brain strem. Want to retaliate, stick that back on. I forgot to put that back on earlier on. That could be unpleasant if I'd got disconnected. Let's be a glacier. Body runes, why not? They're not worth an awful lot, but they have their uses. And any body runes you ain't got to buy, well, that's an improvement. Oh, look, another beer. From a walking corpse. No problems. Just take a little sippy sip of the in-game, you know, dumb bitch juice. One of many. It's more for Far's benefit. Any moment now we're going to get hit by another zombie before we kill this one. Like that. And over here you'll see I've got the NPC aggression timer active. Got a minute 33 before everything in this little zone. Shown by this very faint purple line, which you might not be able to see. But everything within here will become unaggressive to us. At which point then we can choose what we fight. Ah. Let me game that one a bit so we finish off this kill. Pick up the loot here. Some steel arrows. Also got the menu NPC health plugin, which shows me their approximate health bar over their level indicator there, so I know which ones I've damaged and which ones I haven't. Oh. Oh look, more beer. And the aggression timer has run out, so now I can pick which ones to fight. And slowly but surely the range level creeps up. It's one of the unfortunate things about sort of like low level Slayer is there's not much to it other than just kill monster. Very, very few complicated mechanics, which, you know, probably what you might expect from a relatively low level in a skill. 1087 experience off of another Slayer level. We'll not get that on this task, obviously. We've only got 7 left to kill, but every little helps. And I will keep drinking the beer that they drop. Let's see how bad, how low our attack level gets by the time that we're done here. Huh? Now, a sort of important thing to remember when you're doing Slayer, especially on stuff that's not super high level, is once you're done with the task, you will have the opportunity to go to a place that resets stats or heals you and all that kind of thing. So it's generally speaking a good idea not to waste your food. You don't actually need to be at max health all the time on stuff that has got very, very low maximum hit. And watch me get hit a string now to, you know, make me a liar. But yeah, so don't waste food. You know, if you don't have to eat, don't eat. And you know, it becomes a feel thing. It becomes a feel thing. There are some creatures that can, you know, take you out of the game very quickly. But yeah, generally speaking, you know, you have a full prayer bar. You can use the full prayer bar. So task complete. Okay, and just like I was saying, you know, we're not gonna bury every bone, but you know, you might want to bury bones, especially if it's like big bones or dragon bones. You know, if you're not collecting them to use on an altar later, you can just bury them while you're on task. Okay, so we're done here. So I'll give you a little demonstration of what I mean. I'm going to teleport to the Grand Exchange using my Ring of Wealth, and then I'm going to immediately replace it because as of yet, well, basically I can't be bothered to go and recharge the Ring of Wealth myself. So what I do is I sell the one I've got that's uncharged, and I buy a new one. Costs a little bit of money each time. There are people that do that for money. So yeah, I'll do this. I'll give you an idea of what I mean. So what we do is we use a Ring of Dueling. Why have I got 2 on? Silly. Alright, release that. What we do is we rub the Ring of Dueling and we go to the Ferox Enclave. Now, most seasoned players will know about this already. But the Ferox Enclave is technically located in the middle of the wilderness, right here. It is a safe zone to stay inside, as long as you don't pass through these red barriers. But what we do is we run into the Free-for-All Clan Wars portal, and we don't even have to enter the game. Watch what happens to all of these numbers here when I leave. We're down at 50 attack, 30 HP, 39 prayer, so on and so forth. We leave. Restores all of our stats to back up to their normal levels. You can also drink from the pool of refreshment. It also restores our run energy, and there's a bank right here. So what we're going to do now is, and this is something that a lot of people they do know of it, but a lot of the time people forget that this exists. So with a sufficiently hard wood cutting level, you can come here and you can cut this canoe station tree down. And it doesn't really matter what axe you've got, a steel axe will be perfectly fine. Higher woodcutting level is, the faster this gets done. You click this, and then you pick Edgeville. And that deposits you, after a cute little cutscene here, it deposits you right here, which is right next to a fairy ring, the Grand Exchange, Edgeville Bank over there, a furnace, so on and so forth. So, yeah, useful little thing to bear in mind. And we're going to go back to CKS, because that is Canathus. K9 King Settlement. Good way of remembering the initials. You run over here. Now, this was my 27th task, so yes, we've got 2 more tasks to do. And then we will probably run over and pick up one from, well, it'll have to be Vanica, because we aren't 70 combat yet, so we can't go and get one from Kylder. Majna, give me a new task. Cave Slimes. Okay, this is a very, very fast task. However, it does have a little bit of a requirement. And that is to, I believe I've got one in the bank. I have a lamp. I have a lantern. No, I don't. Okay. Can I just search light source? No. Candle. Do that. Now, this is not the safest way of going about doing this, and I'm liable to take a good bit of damage because I will likely mess this up several times. But that's alright, you know? It's perfectly fine. Doesn't matter if we die. Dying is not a big deal. That's another thing when it comes to playing this game. Get used to the idea of dying. It's going to happen. You're going to do some bosses, they're going to kill you. It's okay. We soak it up, we move on. Okay, so we'll grab those 2 pieces of bass, we'll grab 2 tuna, I'll grab like 2 cheesy potatoes while I'm at it. Paul says, you're a risk taker. Honestly, not really. Like I say, death of the game. Not a super huge deal. It's more of an annoyance than it is a problem. So yeah, I would advise people, unless they're playing a hardcore Iron Man, go and die deliberately a couple of times. Just get yourself acquainted with what it is to, you know, reclaim your stuff from death and so on and so forth. Get yourself familiar with the process of dying. It's really not a big deal. Obviously, PvP deaths. Bar says Ariska, if you will. Sure. Thank you for not using the hard R. Alright, let's have teleport. And I think I've already encountered a fatal flaw in my little plan here, because I don't think I've got the shortcut in the Lumbridge Castle basement unlocked. But we'll see. I might need to grab a pickaxe. Or I might need to start a new quest. Not a problem either way. Yep, I need to start that quest, which is not here. Actually, one thing I can do is I can grab this. Because where we're going is this dungeon down here, you see. Yeah, giant frogs, my people are down there. I can't remember if I need a rope. I don't know as I do. I don't know as I do. I'll grab my second candle. Fun fact, the more light sources you have, different light sources have got different, they provide different levels of light. Candles provide one of the lowest. But the more of them that you've got, like say we give candles a value of 1, and the maximum light value you can have, which is like this sunlight or surface level light is, let's call that a 10. In very dark places, the maximum light level you can have would be, I think it's about 5, maybe 6. Unless you've got something which specifically gives you, you know, surface level light, so 10. So if you've got 2 candles, they do stack. So a candle level of 1, candle level of 1 is a light level of 2. I can probably show you that when we get down into the cave. Okay, we don't need a thingy. There is a candle seller there. He charges 1,000 gold per candle. So if I extinguish this candle, you'll see it gets darker, and then I can light it again. If my candles go out for whatever reason, I'll start taking rapid damage within short order. These cracks here, if you don't have a spiny helm attached, a quick way to get past them is to walk 1 square to either side of them. 1 square like so. And then, making sure that you run energies on, click to the other square, you run past them. If you don't, a wall beast will grab your head and deal a bunch of damage to you, and that is not fun. So the things that we are looking to avoid are gas vents. See that gas hole there? Yeah. If we go near that, it'll explode, deal us a bunch of damage, and blow out our candles. There are light sources that your candle flares brightly, like that. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, because I think there's too much gas. Yep, there is. Back to the Ferox Enclave. I need to pick up a lantern that's not going to do that. Far says it is the curse of Terra Australis to not be able to say R. I give you a candle. Indeed. So yeah. Lumbridge Swamp caves are one of the few places where there are gas bubbles like that will damage you. From there, let me think. I can't use a... what you call it? Bullseye lantern yet. Just gonna go to the Grand Exchange. So I think I should just be able to... Now, you can make these for yourself. They're not especially difficult to do. Yeah, see, very, very cheap. Grab one of these if one's going to go. You know what? Where is my glass blowing pipe? Candle lantern. Blow glass into that. Use the white candle on there. Boom. 1 candle lantern. Put the black candle away. Put the glass blowing pipe away. And put that away. Ooh, that away, excuse me, sorry. Quickest way to get back to the caves. The cave entrance is right here. Don't think there's an especially fast way to do it. Drainer teleport is about the same distance, actually. Okay, it reckons the Wizard's Tower. Alright. Guardians of the Rift minigame teleport is what it's advising me to do. I'm going to ignore that. What I'm going to do, instead, I'm going to run over to the fairy ring. And the fairy ring code for this is DIS. Wizard's Tower. And this, of course, this is a plugin that I've got as well. I use a lot of Runelight plugins to make various processes, not necessarily easier, but, you know, ways that I can sort of show you guys what it is I'm planning on doing before I do it, with, you know, full visual representation. I find it's very, very helpful for streams. Okay, now, if I am remembering rightly here... Yeah, so this only provides a light level of 1, so things do appear darker. But we should be fine now to run all the way through, get back to these boys over here, without igniting any of the gas. Now, cave slimes are poisonous. If they hit you at all, you will become poisoned. It's not especially bad poison. It only deals 2 damage, as you can see here by this indicator. But yeah, it can kill you. So just, you know, be wary, keep your health topped off, and make sure you're either carrying an anti-poison towards the end of the task, or that you have one in your bank at least. Like I say, these are very, very low leveled. Their drops aren't terrible for such a low level creature. They do die very quickly. But if you are very low level yourself, they can and they will kill you. Anyone that's played D&D will probably be very familiar with the concept of a cave slime. This is what the weaknesses are. Basically, they're weak to everything. They drop unlit torches. Don't use torches. They will also detonate the gas. Of course, the fastest way to teleport here would have been to teleport to the Tears of Guthix minigame, which I don't believe I've actually got unlocked. Maybe we should do that, huh? Maybe we should. Let's see, Tears of Guthix. I think is it considered a mini quest? And then PQRS Tears of Guthix. I actually don't meet the requirements for it. 49 fire making. Ah, that's right, because you need a bullseye lantern. More tarred stuff. Yep. Keep collecting the swamp tar. It has its uses, mostly in herbal training. But you'll notice that these guys, despite the fact that they're only level 23, and they're pretty weak, you know, they've actually succeeded in doing more damage to me than the zombies ever did. Iron sword, no, we don't need that, it's not used for a clue. And it doesn't melt down into enough bars, so... Wait, what quest did I do? I did Creature of Fenkenstrain, which I don't know if you've already done that one. I don't believe you have. And I did Fishing Contest, which I'm fairly confident you did. Alright, so that's that out the way. Fun fact about the Ferox Enclave as well is... We go here. I think both the Pool of Refreshment and the portal does this. Yep, clears poison as well. If you have any positive stat boosts, bear in mind that that does also get rid of positive stats. So, just bear that in mind. Don't drink potions and then use the Pool of Rejuvenation or the Free-for-all portal, because it will get rid of them. Platty says, nope, neither. Fishing contest was started. Right. Well, I'm fairly sure, due to the quest that we've done earlier and the little bit of prep that we did together, you'll have all of the things that you need to do that one, and it takes 2 minutes. I think we're going to sneeze here real quick. Yep, there we go. Oof. Well, it's easy to do it, indeed. Creature of Frankenstrain is a bit of a pain in the arse, Platty, under normal circumstances, but with Quest Helper, there's no work in it. None at all. Put that away. I will cut my sapphire. Nope. Well, if Marjana can keep giving me tasks like that, that will be great. Okay, I don't really care about the unlit torch. Not worth enough money for me to really worry about. We will grab an axe. Now, you don't have to pick the absolute highest level canoe that you can do. It just gives more experience, and I don't believe it's any faster to cut the lower leveled ones once you've unlocked the higher leveled ones, so may as well extract as much experience as you can, right? Go CKS. CKS, please. Don't want the Polar Hunter area, not just yet. Head back over to Marjana. And this will be the final task that we do with him in this particular part of the streak. Where my demon boy at? Got something nice and easy. 38 bears. Screw you. I hate bears tasks. These suck. They've got no good drops. They've got enough health to be slow-ish. And there's only really one place you can... Well, there's only really one place you want to kill them. Get rid of that. Oh, that's right. It was lit, wasn't it? It was, in fact, lit. It was lit AF. If that doesn't cause 10 people to unsubscribe immediately, I don't know what will. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Where are we? I want to head over to Ardoin, and the quickest way to get there is going to be actually to teleport to the Ranger Guild again, off my combat bracelet. So yeah. We'll do this. We'll do our 10th task, and then we'll move on to something else. Or 10th streak task, shall we? Monastery Ranger Guild. Pro tip for Iron Men. Once you got the, I think it's 40 range requirement to get into the Ranging Guild, you can get rune thrown axes from there, which you need to get into the Dagonoth King's lair, unless you got another account or another person to do that for you. So yeah, that's where you can get those. Most people, I dare say, know it, but, you know, just general knowledge that occurs to me. I do like to share it. Ardoin Cape, 2 and above, I think, can teleport you here. Limited number of times until you get RD Cape 4. And without any sort of particular quest requirements or what have you, this is, which is just northeast of East Ardoin. Northeast of East Ardoin, yeah. This is one of the locations where you can find an iron triangle to train your mining on if you don't want to go straight to the Motherlode mine. One of the few places in the game that actually has them. So I mean, 27 health. Welcome back, Slipknot. Platty says, right, I was doing a vampire task right before I had to run out. Oh yeah? You know, now that I think about it, they do have one drop that's worth a damn, and that is the I'm fairly sure it's like an ensouled bear head, and I think it's a simple reanimation. So yeah, if I get any of those, I will save to finish off the task with. But yeah, welcome back, Slipknot. Platty, do you want in? You want to come hang out? No pressure. You can say no. Uh, 60 points from my 50th task. Very, very nice. Was that with a Vanica task, yeah? I'm just going to do this real quick, because that should make the adamant darts appear at the top of my loot pile. Platty says, nah, I'm just going to chill out from today's event, so alright, no worries. Hang out with the fire while I mindlessly do some Scape in the background. Mm-hmm. All I did to do that, by the way, chat, is I held down left alt, and then I clicked the little plus on the side. That's the ground items plugin. And yeah, like I say, you can set it so that items that are highlighted with a loot beam or what have you appear at the top of your drop pile. It's in the settings somewhere. Very good if you you know, are frequently gonna have to pick up your own ammo, especially before you get something like the alerter or the attractor or the accumulator. Excuse me. Whew. I don't know why I am waiting on the drops. I know it's already going to be nothing. On the odd occasion, on the off chance that we do get a bear head, well, great, fantastic, but I could just go straight on to the next kill. I don't have to wait. You're probably going to unmark those just to unclutter the screen space here. Far, if you're still in chat there, did we say something? Did we pick a day to do the conscription thingy? I can't remember. I think I wrote something down somewhere, but I've misplaced the note. We did not. Okay, good. So I have a feeling Polly is going to disappear for a few weeks since they dropped the JFK papers today. I don't know about that, Slipknot. We may well find out whether or not the theory of his head just did that would be proven true. You know, we should be vindicated. It's been too long that the government has been living in denial. Which is funny considering it's the US government and not the government of Egypt, but whatever. Yeah. No, good stuff. It's like I say, I had a false memory. My money is on his head just doing that. Yeah, I agree. Oh, good lord. There. You know what it is? You know what? I think I know how his head just did that too. I think he tried to sneeze with his eyes open. So it says, I've seen so many recreations. You have a sneaking suspicion you would have received a beginner clue scroll. Oh no! Those things, they never give me anything worth a damn. Not one of those! Yeah. I know I complained a bit earlier, but honestly, this is not an especially slow task. We did just get a range level, so, you know, can't moan too loudly. Technically speaking, I am a high enough level to go chinning already in certain situations. But those are very, very niche situations, and they're also quite costly. And frankly, I'm just not willing to burn the money. Someone says Mythbusters, Penn and Teller, the arcade guy. Penn and Teller does not surprise me as much as it perhaps should, ever since I heard the magic bullet theory. Slayer level, insult Bearhead. Okay, so we've only got to kill 14 more of these, and then we will go and grab the runes to cast the reanimate spell. And that will finish off our Slayer task. Because, fun fact, reanimated creatures count. If you're on a Konar task, though, and you've got to kill them in a specific location, you will have to bring the reanimation runes and the Archaea spellbook to wherever it is that you're slaying for them to actually count. I'm fairly sure. Because the nature of the item changes. I don't know what you're talking about, Platty. No idea. Not a clue. The sound stream just does that. Someone else says, I still love the Carlos Hathcock recreation. If you've seen it, I haven't. I haven't. Oh, another Assault Bearhead. Okay, so we're down to 8 kills left. Before we go reanimate. Nice thing that they added into the game is if you examine the head, it tells you which level of reanimation you need to use. So basic reanimation. Go to the Archaea spells. Basic reanimation, level 16. You can check the runes. It's 4 body runes, 2 nature runes. So remember those body runes we picked up earlier from those zombies that, you know, most people would leave on the floor because they're so, you know, cheap. Yeah, we've just saved ourselves a little time in acquiring the body runes we need to do the reanimation. You watch. I'll get down to 3 left to kill, and the third to last one will drop me ahead. Because that's just the way it works in this game. RNG when you don't need it, and then when you're chasing the Dragon Warhammer, you'll go 12,000 KC dry. Or you'll be like Eve and get it on your first kill. Or 5th kill, whatever it was. So his shot literally went through this optic of an enemy sniper. There have been a couple of times in history where that has happened. My recollection, if my memory serves. As the DPS calculator plugin has not been updated, and probably won't be, frankly, given the calculator that's available on the wiki, I picked up another one which is just called Monster Stats, and it allows me to set a setting, though when I hold down the shift key and hover over a monster, an NPC, a mob, it shows me the weaknesses. That's how I'm getting up this lovely display here. Platty says, I think I soft-locked myself in a quest. What makes you say that? Someone says one is Simo, one is Carlos. I think those are the only. Yeah, Simo, the Finnish World War II sniper, I want to say. Three left. No head. So no head. Winter War, World War II. Yeah. It's not done at this time. Alright, fair enough. Okay, Grand Exchange. 4 nature runes, 8 body runes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10. Quickest way to get there would be Arceus Library. And that has moved us all the way across the world, over to Kurend. So we were all the way... We were here. No. We were there. Now we're all the way over here. Winter Tote on the Games Necklace is also another relatively close teleport if you were an Iron Man and you don't have Arceus teleport tablets already made. Play says, I have to wait, got it. Yeah. Someone else says, I've been listening to the stories of SOG and that shit is insane. Run over here. And we talk to Tis, or rather right-click on Tis and swap our spell books. Find and sold cadavers, blah blah blah. You can reanimate them here. Reanimate this bear head. When you kill these, you get prayer XP. As well as, you know, regular combat XP. 15 HP. They're a little more accurate. All in all, you know, it's a relatively cheap way of getting prayer XP. Not as fast as Consecrating Bones at an altar. There you go, Slayer task complete. 480 prayer XP per. Now we switch our spellbooks back. Okay, now we're going to head over back to the Ferox Enclave. I'm going to pop down and we're going to see Vanica. Hello there, Evie. Jesus. Fishing contest done. Good stuff. Play says got fucking drunk dwarf at the end. Oddly poetic. Alright. Grab an axe. I fucked up. Shouldn't have gone to Barb Village. I should have gone to Edgeville. There's not much in it, but there's some in it. How you doing, Evie? I saw you'd had a rather rude awakening today. In the literal sense. Drop down here, and I'm going to run all the way around to Vanica. Ordinarily, I would hold on to these Rings of Dueling just for something to alch at later levels. Let's go get a task. See, somebody else using adamant darts there. Very good, very cheap. Give me something nice, Vanica, come on. Ogres? Oh, not ogres. I don't want to kill ogres. Ogres suck. Nah, they're not that bad. Alright. Back to the Ferox Enclave. Restore our run energy. Eve says, didn't have to go into work today, so I'm good. Oh, okay. Platty says, Eggville, my beloved. Indeed, Eggville. Eggville. Eve says, went and bought a new phone. New phone, who dis? Ended up spending $200 less than I thought I would, but that's always good. Alright. Ring of Dueling. Yeah, we've been through a lot of Ring of Dueling today. I'm gonna need more darts. Probably. Probably. Yeah, we'll keep pushing that out. Grand Exchange. So, low-level Slayer is not especially profitable, generally speaking. There are some things that you can do to sort of optimize the process. Bolt. Adamant Dart. Adamant Dart. Actively traded price 18. Well, we will certainly try. Let's grab 400. Yeah, thought not. Actively traded price of 18, my butt. There we go. That's more like it. Alright. Don't really need much in the way of food because these will be a safe spot task. Down to Castle Wars. And now I'm going to switch out my boots just for an extra little bit of accuracy here. It's not like we need the boots of lightness on. Because ogres really just are right round the corner here. Someone says, I needs a new phone too. Mine has the spicy pillow of yes. Yeah, don't fuck about with that, man. Don't take that risk. I've seen what happens when lithium batteries blow up. It ain't fun. Someone's left their cannon here. But it's broken. Wouldn't it be cool if we could just steal their cannon? That'd be great. And this will almost certainly give us, so let's see, they have got 60 health, 48, so 60 times 48 times 4. Yeah, 11k XP from this, so we will get a level close to 2. Take that money from Rick Turpentine there. Yeah, probably going to get, well, no, I won't quite get an HP level from this. Fairly close, though. Take us down to about 3k left. Run out, grab these. Sure, I'll bear a big bone. Let's see. XP left. 807. So that would be 807 divided by 14.5. 55. So we won't quite get prayer level from this. Next prayer we unlock will be Mystic Might. So that might actually be worth us grabbing a few of these bones. Just to do. Eve says I've been long overdue on getting a new phone. Yeah. Yeah, I might pick up a new one in the not too distant future. The screen on this one has been cracked for quite some time, and usually I take pretty good care of my phone, so you know, screen cracking is rare. The screen on this it's had the exact same crack on it for about 2 years. And I could just replace the screen. There's nothing really inherently wrong with the phone, but at this point, the phone itself is probably only worth what the what replacement screen is, which is, you know, usually a good indicator it's time to replace it. And that Canon just decayed, which means the person will go back to Nickelodeon and get a free replacement. Eve says, I've made a terrible mistake. Went to an all-you-can-eat sushi place. Now I got to go shopping with a full tummy. I mean, you'll probably end up spending less money shopping on a full stomach. I usually do. Almost always eat cheese before I go shopping for groceries. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've got significantly less XP. I was looking at the XP per hour. No, I'll definitely get an HP level. He says, yeah, that's where I was with mine too, Sam. Yeah, but my tummy is full. I want a nap. Hurry up, then. Get your ass home. Yeah. Ordinarily, like when I'm not streaming, ordinarily I will just do regular Slayer tasks from Vanica, which tend to be longer, but they do give more experience. It's less points per hour, you know, it's less points efficiency, but to be honest with you, on this character, I'm not super worried about being efficient. Max efficiency training is what we do on our Iron Man there. Just get it out the way. Because we have to spend so much more time gathering, you know, stuff on the Iron Man. It becomes worth it to be, you know, play more efficiently. This is mostly just dicking around and talking to you guys, you know. See, this is the thing about these, you know, these Scape streams, especially the impromptu ones like today. I'm more talking to you guys and playing Scape at the same time, rather than, you know, playing Scape and talking to you guys at the same time. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think I've got some ogre heads in the bank. Yeah, you got 3 unsold ogre heads in the bank, which I don't think I can do those with basic reanimation. I think that's the next. I think that's the next tier up. Yeah, adept reanimation at level 41 magic, which I can boost to. So you know, I might go ahead and spend those towards the end of this task. Yeah, 0 points level, 48 HP. Oh, I've got to put random music on. I'm gonna fall asleep. You know what I could do? You know what I absolutely could put on? The most famous RuneScape song. Sea Shanty 2. Take it away. MC Frogbutt. Coming at you live from just east of Castle Wars. Ogre Slayer's fan club. To the tune of Sea Shanty 2. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Hobbit folk songs, this, in a weird way, from Lord of the Rings. Got that same sort of feel to it to me. Which I know they're technically not sea shanties, and neither is this. But, but yeah. Yeah. Little known fact, Sea Shanty 2 is in fact not a proper shanty. But who cares? Because it's fun. Killing all the youngers for some Slayer XP and the drops that they'll give me. I'm losing my mind. Alright, what's it gonna choose next? Ah, 33 left to kill, is that? Yes. Yes. This will all be worth it, chat. It will. Not right immediately, but it all pays off, you know, it all adds up. It's like a lot of things in this game and many RPGs. It's not the individual action itself that counts. It's what it results in later on down the road. The things that it unlocks. The places you'll go. The loots you will obtain along the way. The noobs that you will squash. That Earth Impling is just asking to be caught, but I don't have the hunter level for it. He says it's never worth it, but we do it anyway. Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Purge the heretic. It's all dog ahead. One less kill I'll have to do here. I don't remember off the top of my head what Adept Reanimation takes, but let's take a look. Body rune, 3 nature runes, 1 soul rune. Oof, expensive spell. It's not about the end of the quest, it's about the loot we picked up along the way. Indeed! Indeed. Like all these big bones. Which, by rights, you know, I don't really need, but... Watermelon seed. She picks up all the loot as an expression of greed, but I've got a watermelon in my inventory as a seed. Also the quest unlocks. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Honestly, like, there are so many quests left to do on this character. Loads of quests. Dozens. There are dozens of them. Dozens! Which, yeah. It's one of those. A lot of the time when I'm sort of playing by myself, I make the mistake of playing through all of the quests, like, as soon as I can. Getting them all, like, knocked out very, very quickly with high efficiency. And then I've just got a load of skills left to train, and nothing to really, you know, spend those use those skills on. And I'm not gonna lie, that does remove a lot of the fun for me. Plenty of people out there hate quests. Plenty of people. They just don't want to have to do them. They quest when it's necessary, and they ignore them the rest of the time. And I don't know. I find that quite sad. It's kind of like, well, you know, there's your story. There's the role-playing element of your role-playing game, as it were. But hey, you know, some people, they just like the leveling. Like, take Zelthor, for example. He got a great deal of enjoyment out of mining and smithing on RS3. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't hate mining. I don't hate smithing. They do become tedious when you know, do like a fucking 10-hour mining trip over the course of 2 sessions. That can grate on the nerves, but no, he really seemed to enjoy it. There's certain skills as well, like, I don't enjoy the start of training, like woodcut, for example. I don't enjoy the notion of going and getting like a backpack on and an axe and figuring out what spot I'm going to use and blah 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 blah. But then when I'm there and actually training it, then I'm fine. I'm happy. Agility, another one. I don't like starting training agility, thinking, okay, what course have I got to do? How many laps is it going to be? How many times am I going to click on the same obstacles again and again and again? The thought of it is daunting. When I'm there and I'm doing it, it becomes almost like muscle memory, I suppose. Which sort of, you know, it comes back to the thing that I was saying earlier on about, you know, if you don't enjoy something within a game, unless you have like some sort of hard obligation to do it for like a content unlock, something that you already know you're going to enjoy, don't do it. But then again, sometimes it's a case of if you know when you get there, when you actually start doing it, you're going to be fine. Just give yourself that nudge. Maybe even bribe yourself. You know, propose a little treat. Okay, you know, I've got to get 5 agility levels before I unlock this next quest. So, I'm going to have a little bit of ice cream or something like that. Once I get those 5 agility levels. You know, bribe yourself. Reward yourself. You're supposed to be having fun. It's supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be chill. It's supposed to be a way to unwind and get away from the world and its woes. And people's heads that just do that. Eve says, games should be fun. Wait, games should be fun? Yeah. Too many people lose sight of that, and they look for shortcuts. I was talking about people buying gold from gold selling websites, and like, if you don't enjoy grinding for money and you just want to buy, and that leads you towards buying money, maybe the things that you're going to spend the money on aren't actually going to bring you any particular enjoyment. You know, maybe the game isn't for you, and it's okay to put a game down if it's not for you. Plenty of people do. I think the stat is something like less than 20% of the games that people purchase actually ever get completed. It's like, yeah, I completely understand that. And so some people go, well, so this is people just wasting their money then, right? And the answer is no, it's not. They played as much of the game as they had fun with. And then when it stopped being fun, they put it down. And that is perfectly okay. Provided you aren't spending $100 to $120 on a game that you're only going to play for 2 hours, you know, it's not really a waste, generally speaking. I think like a good sort of like break point, and you know, you guys can feel free to disagree with me on this or agree, or even, you know, posit your own numbers, please do. Be that in the chat or in the comments section down below if you're watching this in the future. I think that you know, for $60, I think between 20 and 30 hours is a good runtime, and if more than 50% of that is actual fun, you've got a good game. Not a great game necessarily, not a fantastic game, not a creme de la creme or anything like that, but you've got a good game. That's you know, a game that is fun for 50 to 60% of a 20 to 30 hour runtime, price of $60. I think you genuinely can call that a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10, you know, a strong 6 out of 10. Once you start getting into sort of like, okay, it's got a 100-hour runtime and there's like 25 hours of just mindless like reading through dialogue that doesn't really do anything other than like expo dump or something like that. You know, I think then you sort of a game with a longer runtime has got a higher expectation built into it. There has to be some payoff for that extra runtime. There are some games that sort of kind of get by on this notion of, oh, it gets good 20 hours in, or it gets good 30 hours in. And look, old school RuneScape is one of those things. It absolutely is. There's some fun to be had, some nostalgia to be had for the early levels. But when does the game get good? Around base level 40, base level 50, honestly. And that's some time in. And that's one of the places where I think Jagex really lets the game down, is the new player experience just hasn't been... It hasn't been gamified in the sense of, you know, enjoyable video game. It's been gamified in terms of raw numbers. You know, people that start new characters, they will cruise through the early game as quickly as they can to get to the mid game, which is where things start getting a bit interesting. It's like, that's all well and good if you've already got like a dedicated audience. These days with MMOs, you know, MMOs are slowly but surely sort of creeping out of existence, slowly but surely. Yeah, you can't rely on the, oh, it gets good later anymore. Let's see. He says, I didn't buy it to complete it, I bought it to enjoy it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. She follows that up saying, only 20 hours in, talk to me after you've played FFXIV or Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Yeah, that's a kind of what I'm like pointing towards, frankly. I played Final Fantasy VI, I played Final Fantasy VII, I enjoyed them well enough. Generally speaking, though, I don't like Final Fantasy games. The exception to that is Kingdom Hearts. I consider those to be Final Fantasy games. They might be Disney crossover, sure, but basically to me they're Final Fantasy games, combat systems and convoluted storylines and so on and so forth, right? I liked Kingdom Hearts 1 enough, I like Kingdom Hearts 3 well enough. Generally speaking, I can't get past the first 20 hours. I really struggle with that. And it's not to say that they don't get fun later on. They do. They absolutely do. You know, I've seen playthroughs of some of the other Final Fantasy games, but I can't get past that block. There's not enough else going on, if that makes sense. And you know, with the bulk of them being single player games as well, it doesn't grip me. Let's see, it goes a good 20 hours in his rookie numbers. Yeah. Ooh. Don't hear this song very often in game. 16 left. Something's gotten fucky here. Bank memory. Oh, yeah, that's right. There we go. Because these are treated as separate items, the ones I have in my bank. We've got 5 in total. So we've got 11 left to kill, unless we get another head. But yeah, to sort of recap on Scape though, like, you know, okay, well, you say all that, Sam, and yet here you are playing Scape. Yeah, only because I played it from a very young age, and again, I got to the point where, you know, I can cruise through the early game, and I can also enjoy not cruising through the early game because stuff is so fast. Now that I'm not, you know, taking 3 weeks to complete a single quest, because I actually know what I'm doing. Eve says, nah, because 14 is an MMO, they spend the vast majority of the base games setting up the world. There's enough to keep your interest, but the meat is in the expansions. Yeah, and I guess that works for Final Fantasy, because I think that's what a lot of Final Fantasy players have kind of come to expect, and also, to a certain degree, MMO players have come to expect. Generally speaking, though, with games, I think that can be a risk. Saying to people, okay, like, oh, yeah, you've spent $60, maybe a subscription, whatever the hell, to play through the base game, and we've established the world. Now spend another 20, 30, sometimes even $40 to get to the real meat of it. That's a big risk. That's a big risk. You are banking on people being really, 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 really invested in the world. And as we've seen, a lot of games and a lot of developers these days, they cannot establish a good, solid, strong core world anymore. Platty says, looking at you, Destiny 2, that is a fine example. Fine example of exactly what I'm talking about, yeah. I think Destiny's problem, frankly, is its core world, its core setting or what have you, is thin in places and overly complex in others. And I think it suffers because of that. I think if they boiled it down more, got the core elements of the story down to a simple sort of, shall we say, 6 pillars, 6 truths about the world, I think it would be much easier for people to get into Destiny 2. As it stands, Destiny 2 basically only exists for Destiny 1 players. I had a very, very, very difficult time getting into Destiny 2. Mechanically speaking, there's some great mechanics in Destiny 2. There are. But there are games that do things in a mechanically similar way, and they do it much better. And they usually have a more sort of coherent story as well. And that, yeah, like I say, that just leads to a better overall experience. So yeah, so Destiny 2 really capitalizes on how well Destiny 1 did, I think. Ring of Chaos acquired, excellent. Eve says, oh, very much, it's not an easy sell at all. Well, 14 gives the first 2 expansions for free now, so that's good. See, that's smart. That is actually really, really smart. Guild Wars 2 did a very similar thing. I was salty about it when I first saw that it was the way it was. They made the base game free, which I paid like 70, 80 something bucks for the pre-release thing to get like 3 days early access, blah 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 blah, and it felt a bit of a slap at me. But of course, they got to change their business model because they don't charge a subscription. I get it. But yeah, it is a good idea when the content itself is old, or you've made your money. You could do sales. You could do sales of the expansions and sell it for a couple of dollars to just scrape a few extra fistfuls of money out of it. You could, or you could put it up for free. If you know that the early expansions are good, put them up for free. Let people play them. Then release your next expansion at, rather than selling your next expansion at 20, sell it at 30. Get your money in that way. Because the people that you get invested, they will invest back in you. I think generally speaking, that's the more consumer friendly business model. And in an age of companies being exceptionally consumer unfriendly, companies that do behave in a consumer friendly way, at least when it comes to the marketing or their monetization, they're going to do better. Not to speak around the community management issues that the game had and the balance issues and all that kind of thing, but Helldivers, when Helldivers 2 came out, was a fine example of a kind of how to do the marketing side of it right. The game's got a very solid core, simple, central concept. It's not overly story reliant. It doesn't bank on its prequel. Doesn't bank on Helldivers 1 really to sell it. The sequel sells itself, and it's free to play. I felt far better purchasing the Battle Pass stuff in Helldivers 2 than I have in basically any other game. Generally speaking, I don't like Battle Passes, but I actually felt like I wanted to support the company. Now, it's a shame that Arrowhead, it's Arrowhead, isn't it? That does Helldivers 2. Yeah, it's a shame that they kind of screwed the pooch in so many other ways. Game balance, community outreach, yada yada yada. But you get the idea. Platty says, not free to play, base game has a cost. Does it? I don't remember. I don't think it was $60 though, was it? It may well have been now, I don't remember. I think Reaper bought it for me, if that's the case. There's a store page. 40. Yeah. Yeah. And I'd say $40 is a fair price for the base game. It really is. Okay, we got 5 left to kill. And we've got 5 heads, including the ones in the bank. So let's go grab those. And then we'll need nature runes, body runes, and I don't have any soul runes, but we can go and get those from Arceus itself. They are a little on the expensive side, but, you know, that'll be plenty. Considering you can still earn all the battle passes without paying money, and they don't expire, it is nice in that respect. Agreed. Agreed. Monetization through player choice in a way that doesn't rely on fear of missing out is, I think, something that can be achieved relatively simply. And is very, very beneficial for, you know, both development, both developers and players. And it can be a risk because your game does have to be good, and your game can't be ridiculously expensive in the first place. You know, it's not something that lends itself to, shall we say, triple or even quadruple A, haha, very funny, development. It doesn't. It doesn't. You're going to be sort of like a mid-range developer to I think to be able to take that risk. But yeah, it's good. It's good, and I think I'm fairly confident Helldivers has made an awful lot of its money back, if not pretty much its entire budget, several times over. Let's see. Platty says they've been crawling back to re-earn players and fans' trust. Slow work, I'll be honest, but it's good to know that they at least are working towards it. Eve says it's just too bad Sony ruined their popularity. Sony ruins a lot of things, replies Platty. This is very true. It's very true, and this is why, frankly, so much of the market these days is indie. Not having to work with a load of publishers who expect, triple returns on their investment means that you're at liberty to take certain risks, and you are at liberty to sell things more slowly. You don't have to make quarterly returns, so long as you can afford to put, bread on your on the table of the people actually working on the game. You're doing good. You're doing all right. Not every game needs to sell for, sell gangbusters and make 10 times the amount of money that was put into it. If the developers are passionate developers that like actually want to be in the industry, as long as they got a roof above their head and food on the table, and they aren't working, say the project's fucking hours, they're doing all right. They're doing all right, and they can wait for those sleeper sales. They can wait for the word of mouth stuff. Yeah. I need Sony to have a few more Concords, to be honest. Might teach them a lesson. Nah. There was too much. There were too many. Shall we say? Free of consequence loans that went into Concord. It didn't look good on paper, but ultimately, are they gonna stop doing what it is that what they did there? No, I don't believe so for a minute. And I forgot my Wizard's Mind Bombs, which means I need to go grab those. I will stay on this spell book though. Half the problem is, with a lot of games these days as well, it's like the publishers make glaring errors in judgment, in marketing, in community management. And then when a game flops, rather than the publisher themselves sort of eating the damage, shall we say, they liquidate studios under their control to recoup costs. And in recouping those costs, a lot of developers lose their jobs. A lot of the people whose fault it is not for the ruination of the game lose their jobs. The publishers themselves don't generally hurt anywhere near as badly as they perhaps should for the consequences of their actions. So yeah, unfortunately, I know it sounds a bit cynical and black-pilled, but it's going to keep happening. Loans are interesting. Yeah, loans and grants. Yeah. ESG stuff. Not to go into all the ins and outs of all that. That is a whole minefield of a subject. You can find plenty of material about that online to read through yourself if you care to. But yeah, like it's not even, to be honest with you, it's not even corporate greed. It's a case of corporate capability. They can do things and they can get loans and grants and all that kind of thing that you can't. And so the risk-taking that they're going to take is going to be inspired by certain interest groups that are putting pressure on them to take advantage of their corporate capabilities to put out things that you and I would say is slop, that we're not interested in. I'm not going to go into all of the political ins and outs of that. You can hear me go on about those sort of things ad nauseum in many other forums. But yeah. It's the wrong people in the right places leveraging corporate capability that is producing all of this slop that's just not fun. It's not fun, and it's not what players actually want. It's not what customers are going to buy. And then the people who should get hit with the consequences, which is to say the people putting the pressure on the companies or the publishers, they don't really feel the effect of it. It's developers and of course players. When keeping the experienced devs would mean better products and more sales in the future, but it's easier and cheaper to get rid of them and hire a rookie. Yeah, it is. And it's a percentile thing. They're just playing percentages all the time. You would think a staff of 100% experienced developers would be better than a staff of 50% experienced developers and 50% rookie developers. But in terms of fiscally, you're wrong. Because not every experienced developer is a good developer. And a lot of them actually prove to be liabilities, because they are so dedicated to the craft that they are perhaps lacking in other skills, shall we say. Yeah. And the combination of liability and variability means that, no, it really is financially more productive for publishers to just liquidate studios, and for studios to liquidate entire development teams. It sucks, but that's what the statistics on paper show, and that's all they're interested in listening to. It's not about creating a good product, it's about making money. They're working as business people rather than artisans, because that's what publishers are. Publishers don't make things, they publish things using connections and networks, which is not to say that the work that they do is valueless. It's not. They do have a certain value. You aren't going to get a series like the first Assassin's Creed trilogy plus Black Flag off of the ground without a good publisher. It's just too expensive at the time to make those sorts of things. And I think that gaming in general would be worse off if we hadn't had something like Assassin's Creed, especially Black Flag. It was an excellent game. Anyway, enough nattering and distracting myself. Let me grab some Wizard's Mind Bombs and go get these heads cast. See how far into this. Oh, we were 2.5 hours in. I'll do about another hour, guys, I think. And then we'll get out of here. Don't want to take up too much of your time on a weeknight. 3. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, because it's 2 boost on each. I get 2 minutes. 2 for 5. Yeah, probably. Probably enough. I could stand to buy some more. Let's do that. run down to the bar here. And buy 5 of those and another 5. Okay, now we home teleport to our chaos. Sit still. Eve asks, how come you all aren't doing Grim Dawn or something tonight? Well, we were going to, but Platty had some, some real shit she had to take care of. Had to take care of business. So I just dropped a Scape stream in to fill the space. And, give people a place to come hang out and just chill. And listen to me ramble on about things that, by rights, very few people should care about. And I forgot. There we go. Do that. We should immediately get this as a ding. 35 HP on these. No word on this thing's defenses. I don't remember how much prayer XP these give. I don't think it's an awful lot. Might be 600. 716. That's respectable. Okay. Do another. Oh, don't forget, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, go ahead and click that like button for me. You know, I don't like asking for likes and such, only if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, thumbs down. It's okay. If you're brand new here, don't forget, you can also hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of what I do. At the moment, it's Escape Streams and Grim Dawn, which is an ARPG, and, of course, Path of Exile 1, in preparation for Path of Exile 2 going free to play. Play that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually with Platty. Tonight is a bit of an exception. And, yeah, Sunday streams are largely RuneScape stuff, so if that interests you, you can subscribe. The bell thing, that's completely optional. If you want notifications to come through on your phone, your tablet, whatever, those sort of devices, you can turn that on. Totally down to you, though, of course. And if you are listening in the future and you didn't get a chance to take part in chat, that's okay. You can still like and subscribe. I'm just teasing. If you've got a question about this game, any of the games I play on my schedule, burning live questions, anything along those lines, leave me a comment down below. I get notifications when comments come through, and yeah, I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. The moment I see them. How about that? They come through on my phone. So when I'm bleary-eyed, first thing of the day, when I wake up, I see your comments. So if it reads weird, or there's lots of typographical errors, you know why it is. I answered you the moment I woke up. Eve says, I'm loving my Shield Maiden build on PoE. Can't wait to show you. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So, depending on... there we go, there's a Slayer task. Complete! We gained 20 points. That feels really, really lame. For how long that task was. That is 113 points total. How close are we to another prayer level? We've got 45 now, so yeah, so that's Mystic Might unlocked. The next big push will be to 60 for Chivalry. Then after that, obviously, is 70 for Piety. But that'll be after I do the Night's Waves Training Grounds, which is... I've got to complete Merlin's Crystal, Holy Grail. I think it's just Holy Grail, isn't it, for Night's Waves? Could be wrong. I've done these quests so many times. They all kind of blend together. No, Holy Grail I've already done, so it is... I don't remember now. I genuinely don't remember. King's Ransom. King's Ransom, of course it is. I am the goofiest of goobers. What is stuck underneath my desk chair? There we go. There's a little rock on my floor. It's blocking my chair. Okay, so we've done some Slayer today. Oh, we're so close to a level. We're so close, chat. What's new at 40? Anything interesting? Basilisks and sea snakes and pterodogs. I'll go and get another task from Marjana, but I don't think I'm going to do it now. Oh, yeah, and I should change my spellbook on this as well. Thank you, Tess. Where to go? Where to go? Back to Ferox would be the wise thing, but I don't have a what to call it on me. Let's go to the Grand Exchange. Bank all this crap. Put the wizard's mind bombs away. These are, of course, poor person's, or rather, poor man's magic potions, because magic potions in this game are kind of bad. Kind of bad. Okay, I could do with buying some more mind runes, but not right this very second. Probably do a farm run, right? Probably not a bad idea. Plant up to Harrowland. Maybe get some sweet corn in there. Strawberries if I've got them. Oh, and limpwort as well. Limpwort. I only have the one limpwort seed. Next time on this shit. Okay. Let's see. Got one strawberry seed, so that's not going to be enough. I've got plenty of corn seeds, so we'll grab those. Let's see, what herb seeds do we have? Harrowlander. 5 of. I think I've got access to 6 herb patches. The question is, how easy are they to get to? I don't remember where my house is on this. I think it's in Rimington. I don't think I put it in Hesidius yet. Because I think in order to put it in Hesidius, I believe I've got to do the Current and Key Boss Diary 1. Which I need 25 construction. Yeah, enter your player and house from Hesidius. Take some saltpeter, pray at the altar in Current Castle. Browse the Warren's general store, steal from Hesidius food store. So basically do all the basic bitch quests in Current and Key Boss. Mine's the mine and the Mount Crawl mine. We could probably finish up today with that, I think. That'd probably be a good idea. So, Ardoin we can do, Cathaby we can do, Civitas of Fortis we could technically do, but I don't have a quick teleport there. Falador I can definitely do. Mauritania and Mauritania I can do. Alright, so let's go. Falador teleport. No, not Falador teleport. We will use the Glory amulet to get there quickly. Take it from the top. Combat bracelet to Ardoin, Glory amulet to Falador, Cathaby. Cathaby. Oh, actually, I've got one of those. We'll just grab a Camelot teleport tab, right? They're not expensive. Saves dicking around. Ardoin, Cathaby sorted. Falador sorted. Farming Guild can't go into yet. Harmony won't unlock for a very long time. Kurend, not going to bother with. Mauritania, so that is my very recently acquired Ectophile. So that's 3. I should pick another, really, to be efficient. I really should. Do I have any Ultra Compost? And that seems wasteful. But I'm going to grab some anyway. Mauritania, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we'll pick one more. Anyone, doesn't matter. Kurend, we'll do Kurend, because I've got the Karet's Memoirs, which should get me fairly close. Karet's Memoirs. Okay, let's do this business. So first, we'll go to Ardoin. We'll just run out here. Yeah, farming runs are one of those things that I tend to do them in bursts, or rather I tend to remember to do them in bursts. Really, I should be doing them all the time. But I can't be bothered. It's the problem there. That's the main problem. I can't be bothered. And that's why my farming also goes up in, bursts. Okay, so we're going to need a rake, seed dibber, spade we don't need, secateurs we don't need. We've got super compost and empty buckets, we don't have ultra compost. Alright. So I should dump off my ultra compost. And we're going to 4 places, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can take 1, 2, 1, 2, like so. Ah, yes, Ardugni. Indeed. So this is the herb patch, so they shouldn't have done that. That should have been ultra compost. Oh well, I wasted a super compost. How dare me? How dare I? Super compost goes here. We can pre-super compost the patches. Which is kind of nice, even before we, you know, do anything else with them. Run up here, deposit all the buckets real quick. And because the Ardoin patch and the Cathby patch are very, very easy to get to, simple teleports, that will be where I put my limp root. Scratch that up and plant that seed. Plant the sweet corn here. Now, if I had good common sense, rather than growing limpwort here, what I would do is I would have made a scarecrow, and I would have stuck that in the flower patch instead to prevent my sweet corn from getting diseased. But again, that requires forethought and effort. If you're an area locked Iron Man or something along those lines, use a scarecrow when you're planting sweet corn. Save yourself the headache. Alright, so that's that patch completely planted out. I'm not going to put anything in the Ardoin compost bin. I'll save it for the Catherby one. Because I'm growing Harrowlander, I don't worry so much about making compost potions. Because obviously, you know, they're fueling themselves. Which is, you know, we like that. Beautiful thing about using weeds to generate compost, you put them all in at the same time. Four patches is 12, then you just need 3 more. Put the stuff in, you close it down, and then in an hour's time, give or take, once it has, you know, rotted, then you simply go and pour a compost potion on it to turn it into super compost, and then you can mix in, it's 2 ashes per bucket normally, or I think 20 ashes for an entire compost bin to turn it into ultra compost. And that is the ash that you get from not Anaconia, Fossil Island. Very, very cheap, very, very quick to obtain, and absolutely worth using. Long story short, if you're not using at least super compost, you're doing it wrong. You should always use it. Itchy, 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 itchy. Alright. Super compost on these. Blorp. Yeah, generally speaking, the only excuse to use regular compost rather than super compost is if you're going to put super compost on top of the regular compost. Now, it doesn't stack up the effects, but what it does do is it gives you extra experience. But truthfully, honestly, brutally, yeah, super compost is, yeah, you always want to be making it. And turning regular compost into super compost is, generally speaking, going to be better overall. Okay, that's super composted. These are all 3 are regular composted. We will store our buckets here. 1, 2, 3. I'll inspect this. Alright, off to Mauritania. You know, I'm very curious as to why the grass in the herb patch at the Mauritania patch is so much lighter than the others. Like, I'm genuinely not sure why that is. Is it oversight? Does it mean something? There's probably a reason. There's the herb patch done, and we'll fill this one up with the weeds. 420 compost it. Okay, plant the corn. Now, it doesn't matter whether you put the compost on first or not. Makes absolutely no difference. It's not any faster. It's not any more XP. And toss that there. And sweet corn. You can water it to prevent disease on the first growth tick. That's all watering does, by the way, on plants that can be watered. Watering them prevents them from becoming diseased on the next growth cycle. It doesn't prevent them from becoming diseased at all, though. So yeah. You can prevent disease entirely if you want to stand next to your crops for their entire growth time and just keep watering them, but don't do that. Use ultra compost or pay the farmer. Okay, so that's all of those. We put our buckets away. Let's pick those. I'll take out 2 more super compost. Ultra compost 3 seed dibber, yes. Can I teleport straight to Hesidius? I can. I thought I could. Incoming very upbeat song. You have been warned. Oh no, that's further south, isn't it? The game has made a liar of me. How peaceful is this? Oh, come along, game. Pay the NPC to do NPC stuff, like watering plants. Right? Exactly. They're a pain in the ass to get the stuff for. Sometimes it's worth it. Okay, so we have 13 weeds. Need 1 more. Oh, well, 2 more. Do this. And yeah, it's just 15 items into the compost bin. You can use stuff nearby from like cabbage fields, or potatoes, or onions, or whatever the heck, just to create the regular compost that you will then convert into super compost with a compost potion. Yeah. You're not stuck using only the weeds. The weeds just empty out of your invent all in one go. Don't be an NPC. Quite right. Don't be an NPC. Use big brain. Speaking of using big brain, I took out all 5 Harrowlander seeds, didn't I? Yep, and we've done 4 patches. Falador left to do. So drain a village, I think, is the quickest way, reasonably, for me to get there. And I know I'm going to get 12 weeds from raking up this entire all the farming patch here. So simply, right ahead of time, grab 2 cabbage. Go ahead and put those in ahead of time. Deposit our buckets. Okay, I want 1 more super compost, 1 more ultra compost. Ultra compost on there. And then we rake it. Again. And, good lord, I am going to get a farming level. From planting. That's how early on we are. Let's see, where are we? Just coming up with the 3-hour mark. That's alright. Plant these, or rather, spread this. There we go. Farming level. Don't think there's very much new. Trees, no. Fruit trees, no. Banana tree very soon. Nothing new from bushes. Flowers, no. Herbs. Renard, that's right. We can plant renard. Which we use to make prayer potions. Or at least we certainly will. Oh, big stretch. Wow. My cat is currently looking at my screen. She is utterly fascinated by the concept of farming. I don't think we can give the secret of agriculture to the cats just yet, though. They don't have opposable thumbs, but at the same time, it's not a risk I'm willing to take. In all seriousness, though, don't feed your cats vegetable matter. They're obligate carnivores. Seriously. Alright, so that's all of that crap. All done, and we've got 4 compost bins on the go, I think. Where are we? There's supposed to be one for... guess not. Oh well. Oop. Run the chair into things, it's fine. Okay, so that's a farming run. Sort of very, very loosely set up there. To the Grand Exchange. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Alright, put those away, those away, those away. Evie, are you streaming later on tonight, by the way? Any plans to do that? I don't remember whether or not. Let's see what I was going to do. Oh yeah, I remember. Now I remember. 25 construction to complete it, but hadn't planned to, no. Okay. What about you, Far? Any plans? So we need like 10k. Grab that. A pickaxe. A spade. Tarman potion unfinished. Where is my water? There. Tarman. 1 limpwort root. Fly fishing rod. No doubt some feathers. Okay. Karolm. Do I have a skills necklace? I do. One thing I do need to do is really quickly replace this. Alright. So we can go to the farming guild with this, run up to Mount Karolm, pick a trout, river mulch, make a strength pot, browse the Warren store. Teleport to farming guild. Soon. Can I catch these yet? No. Hey guys, I've got a plan. Bear with me just a sec. Ah no, never mind. Bear with me a little while longer. Requires some setup. Run all the way around Mount Karolm because our agility level is too low to climb up the volcano. Not looking forward to fixing that. See what I mean, chat? Once I'm doing agility, I'm fine. It's the thinking about it. That's the key. No thoughts. Head empty. Mine some iron ore. Grab that. Okay, fish a trout from the river Mulch. Well, that's to the south of us. Is this the quickest way to get there? Though? I think it's going to be teleport on the what do you call it again? Farming guild. Oh, new music track. You attempt to catch a goatee. No thoughts, head empty. Could not have described this game better. Oh yeah, try having no thoughts, head empty when we go do raids next, Stevie. Let's see how you get on. It's taking too long. Thank you. Enter the Deeper Load pub in Lovercane. Well, that is just over here. Gonna have to run through some dooders to get there, but, you know. Oh, look, bears. Can I just sneaky brick? I can just sneaky brick you around the outside of these. I don't actually need to get through them. Thought so. Music kind of goes unnecessarily hard. Hello there, rat. Hello, I think I've PC'd too close to the sun. Oh yeah? What you done? Eve did. Eve says, I did, went quite well, you might recall. Yeah, but that was easy mode. Hard mode is when I go, no head, empty thoughts. Rat knows why. I could have sworn the pub was much closer. Oh well. Oh, I'm completely neglecting to use the fucking cart travel system because, you know, I'm an idiot. Rat says, I can't figure out what rail on the power supply to run my CPU power and GPU power plugs to on the supply. Is it a dual rail system on that PSU? I don't remember if it is. I think it is, because I think it's a post kilowatt power supply, ain't it? Generally speaking, mate, I like to run. So as you look at the back of the modular power supply, the way that they normally do it is that the top row of connectors is one rail, the bottom row of connectors is another. CPU, generally speaking, wants to be on a separate rail to the GPU. So basically just top and bottom rows, right? If you've got one of these split CPU connectors that connects into the back of the PSU, and like the smaller one is the 12 volt for the you know, the 24-pin ATX connector. So yeah, don't worry about that. Generally speaking, just hook that up as it can go. But yeah, for the actual 12-pin or 12-volt connectors for the CPU auxiliary and GPU, make sure that those are on separate separate halves. One on the top, one on the bottom. Generally. On a power supply that's above like a kilowatt for the hardware that you're running, Rat, generally speaking, it won't really matter. But yeah, it's just good. It's good practice. He says, yeah, I'm still mad that I was spec'd better for the raid than you or Platty, and you all still had to carry me through that last boss twice. Honestly, don't worry about it. Gear there is... Gear, it's not that it's irrelevant, it's that mechanical performance is far more important. You can't just buy endgame gear, waltz in, and win. And they're designed specifically to not let you do that. Which I appreciate. I got to enter the Warrens. I think I can tell. Yeah, I've definitely done the quest, so I should just be able to take my my book there. Rat says it has 12v6 plug-on supply, splits into two cables with little pigtails to make an 8-pin. Is that the GPU cable? Normally, mate, they will be labelled on the side of each of the cables. Typically, they will be labelled CPU and PCIe. PCIe ones go to your graphics card, and CPU, what do you call it? The 8-pin CPU. Obviously, that goes to the auxiliary power connector that's at the top of your main board. Sometimes you need two of those, or the motherboard asks for two of those, which I think... What is it? What processor is it you were running? 9900X? Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, you'll almost certainly need two. If the board's got two, give it two. 12 volt 6 plug-on supply splits into two cables with little pigtails to make it an 8-pin. Is that the GPU cable? Yes. Got the CPU router to the motherboard. Awesome. Cables-wise, that is, yeah. Yeah, like I say, so yeah, the 6 plus 2 pin, generally speaking, those are PCIe cables. I can't think of anything else that uses pigtailed 6 plus 2s off the top of my head. Yeah. Those sound like PCIe connection. So yeah. Yeah, they like I say, normally it's either written up on the cable or it's written up on the connector header itself. Connector head itself, I should say. Sorry, not header. Into the Warrens. All right, correct. Memoirs, because I believe that takes me right next to it. Teleport to Porpoise Relays. Yeah, right here. Generally speaking, as I understand, Rat, the connector that goes into the PSU to connect to the into the GPU should be an 8-pin connector itself. Oh, they were labeled. I just confused myself, so I decided to take a break. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. I have had far too many builds that have gone exactly that way. Don't you worry about it. Oh, it's the general store, not the fishmonger store. What am I doing? It's highlighted and everything, Sam. You see, Rat? You see? It happens. Does this store actually sell anything worth a damn, or...? It does sell sardines. If I ever needed those. Let's see what this bartender sells, because I don't remember what beers. Buy a beer, please. Okay, just regular beers. Steal from a Hosidius fruit stall. Teleport to Hosidius. So I won't be able to complete this diary on stream today, guys, because I'll have to do some construction, and construction is one of those things I find it very boring to train, so I'm not going to put you guys through it. But I will do that off. I will do that off stream and finish up the Corendon Key Boss diary, and I'll almost certainly put the lamp into. It'll probably be agility, herb lore, or maybe fletching. Only because I hate training fletching. It will probably be agility or herb lore. I think it's only 1,000 or so XP. It might be 2,500. So yeah. Either way, I'll get a level. That will be what happens off stream. Give me a fruit top. These aren't normally highlighted, by the way. I've done this for my own, basically, peace of mind. Sod it, I'll take that. Run energy. Okay, dig up some saltpeter in Hosidius. I'm gonna run all the way around. Oh, what a way around it is. Well, it reckons round to the south is closest. I'm going to trust it. Fort 4 and 3 made training construction so much less boring in RS3. Yeah, it completely trivialized it, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was not the construction update that I was looking for, frankly. Because it's just like, okay, player-owned houses are basically useless, and we're just going to leave them in the game and not touch them. And it's like, oh. Unlike in OSRS, where player-owned houses are, you know, very, very, very fucking useful. There we go. There's some saltpeter. We're going to take that one off. Pray at Current Castle. Actually, I think I can cast this now, can't I? No, 48. Bar says, I now have medication again. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I've missed a couple here. I have got to deafen this music, guys. Sorry, I really hate that track. Rat says, I have also decided the next time I have anything to do with thermal paste, I'm replacing it with cryosheet or something similar. Yeah, you had a good time with that stuff, did you? Nice and easy. Foss says, I now have medication again. Eve says, it was interesting building a fort as a duchess. Far says, rejoice! Behold, she is medicated. Eve says, yay, Far's on drugs again. Rat says, better living through chemicals. Indeed. Pray at this altar here. Finishing off, I have to talk to Elise in the Courand Castle courtyard to claim my reward. But unfortunately, I can't do that because I've got to get the construction. So, yeah, that's pretty much all of the tests. There was other ones, obviously, in the list. I've already done those, so it's whatever, right? Real quick.
On what I've got now.
Hello, fair warning.
Hello.
We're live. Far.
Yeah, I did guess that as I'm talking about, like, interesting thing about the medication I'm on that is going to get very specific that I'd rather not say online.
It's
Thank
alright.
you.
That's why I came in deafened.
Okay.
Far.
I was like, wait a minute, his stream's not over yet. Okay, go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Far.
that's why I'm like. what
I
the
came in deafened. I was clever about it. I came in deafened. I was very particular. I knew you'd notice. Far, are you streaming later on tonight?
I probably will, yeah.
Alright, what will you be doing?
I don't know.
She doesn't know, chat. She doesn't know.
What will I be doing, Sam?
That's a good question. Cat Quest.
I mean,
She's
yeah,
currently
I
doing
probably
that.
do I am. I do that. I do some of it off stream because I'm not doing all of this on stream. I'm not making this like, part 29 cat quest. No one wants that. So maybe Sam. Maybe Sam wants
Yeah,
that.
maybe.
But-
So, suffer as much as possible before Cat Quest 2. So yeah, chat, look forward to that.
Would you
Mhm.
would you be interested in the nines, or is it yet again not
If
possible?
I'm still up and about, I will certainly try.
Okay.
I will certainly try. But alright.
Okay.
All I wanted to know.
Okay.
Advertising, Far. Advertising. Gonna market to the people.
Yeah. I'm seeing that.
Alright, catch you in a bit. Bloop.
Alright.
There you go, chat. Flustered Far is best Far. So yes. So to round off here, because I don't have anything. I don't have anything more sort of lined up that immediately occurs to me, apart from the construction stuff, which, like I say, is going to be rather boring. So I'm not going to do that on stream. Hold on. Let's do this. Now let's do this. So to round off, yeah, make sure you go check out Far's stream later on. It might be Cat Quest, it might be Nines. If it's Nines and I'm awake, you'll probably catch me there. Look out on Thursday for myself and Platty getting back to it. Indeed. With it will either be Grim Dawn or Path of Exile. Possibly Path of Exile, but most probably Grim Dawn, so that we get that all caught up and pretty much rounded off. Yeah, because we've just got to approach final build now and knock out a final handful of quests and some story. That's all that's really left for us to do there, at least stream-wise. So yeah, that will be this coming Thursday at it'll be between 5 and 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, PDT, as it were. Reason why it might be a bit later is because I am still in non-daylight savings times. So yeah. Depending on what my sleep schedule's like, might be a little bit later. So yeah, because that will be between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning my time. All right, and then of course coming up, hopefully Friday night we will have a Rabba for you guys to enjoy over on Polly's channel, and then on Sunday we will be back at some Scape. So if you are most interested in the Scape stuff, Sunday night is the time to check out this channel. One last time, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, don't forget to leave a like on it. If you're brand new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you would like to know when I go live, you can also click the notification bell and you'll get notifications on your YouTube page and also potentially on your mobile devices if you have those applications on said mobile devices. If you did not get a chance to take part in chat because you are watching it in the future, you're watching that playback, that's okay. If you've got a question for me, anything along those lines about this game, any of the games I play, or my streaming schedule, make sure that you drop me a comment down below. I get a notification when they come through, and I will endeavour to get back to you at the next most convenient juncture. Point in time. Point place. I hope you've had a pleasant evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me on this Tuesday night impromptu old school RuneScape. No grim dawn makes Sam a scapey frog. I'll catch you in the next one. Good night.